match in just a second here. Once again, I said it before, but we have Genesis taking on the Wisps today. Wisps have actually they start out this season very strong, and Genesis with a similar storyline, but both teams now are almost struggling to make it back into the playoffs picture. So this is going to be a huge matchup for both teams, most definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really looking forward to this. Being a novice player myself, of course, not sure that my team's even going to make it into the playoffs. But hey, I still like to see other people at my skill level doing their thing on the pitch.
Most definitely. I'm sure because of that, you have a little bit more insight on these players. Genesis, of course, is a part of the Evolution org, which I'm AGM for. So I do have quite a bit of insight into those players. But can you tell me anything about the Wisps and the players that they're fielding?
So the Wisp have been changing up a lot this season, and I can't tell you much about their current lineup. However, one person that a lot of people in the Discord know and a lot of people in the Discord love is Roddy, or excuse me, Rody. I always pronounce that wrong. Um, and I mean the dude puts in work. He does a good job. He's a solid all-around player. He's a good captain from what I hear. And he's a pretty good member in the community. He always tries to be real positive and everything. So, but I expect to see big things from him here tonight because every time I've played against him and his team, he always is a pillar, if you will, for his team and just adapts to whatever play style is needed.
Definitely. And not only is he a pillar for his team, like you mentioned as well, he's a pillar of the community. Everyone likes Rody. He's a really cool guy. Um, and I'd say on the other end of things, I'd be looking for Mikey Ike, a new pickup for Genesis. I'm pretty sure he's playing. I'm gonna be looking for him to step up. Before we get into this real quick though, do we have a prediction? Do you have one swing one way or another? Who do you think's gonna take it?
That's gonna be a rough one. Forza Blade being on Genesis, and I'm pretty sure he's clinched 2 player of the weeks. Um, Wisp though, Rhodey is solid. Uh I'm gonna have to go to the Wisp. I think on Wisp we're gonna take it in 5.
Definitely hard to predict this matchup. Either way, both teams 100% capable of taking this series. I think just for the sake of content and for the sake of my own bias, I'm going to disagree with you and say Genesis in 5. But, either way, I hope we do get a Game 5 series, whichever one of us is right.
Most definitely.
And we will be kicking things off here. The first kickoff going to be equal, as we do have Mikey Ike. I think that's how you pronounce it. Bit of a tricky name. Zeverns and Magic Pepperoni taking up the Genesis roster. And Rowdy, War, and Not Charlie taking up the Wisps, trying to bring their team to victory. One thing to note real quick, actually, is Forza isn't even on the field. And I have confirmation from Rockerman that his internet actually went out. So that could end up changing the tide. Mikey Ike going to score real fast here, though. And this is a quick turn of events.
Yeah, I think most of the people on the field were kind of wondering what was going on given the situation. So that might have been what allowed them to go ahead and score that goal right there.
Yeah, definitely an interesting situation, but Genesis will pull ahead here with Mikey Ike. Magic Pepperoni himself has told me that Mikey could be in contention for being one of the best players in the entirety of Novice. That's true. The Wisps have definitely got their work cut out for them. Mikey already scoring goal. And he's looking to get another one. Oh my goodness. Gets a double tap off the ground. Won't quite come to fruition, but very good attempt. That's Genesis still keeping the pressure on. War kind of just passing to the enemy, and Mikey's going to put this one in off of a defensive mishap from War.
And good pressure from Mikey Ike as well, able to stick with the ball and get the touch that he needed. Nobody from Wisp was expecting him to be so aggressive right there.
Yeah, just really good positioning and really good recognition that the touch from War would not be that strong. Unfortunately, it was about the worst touch that he could have gone there, but things like that happen all the time, and if you're ready for it, that can be a huge capitalization. Not Charlie, just gonna beat out the defender here though, and the Wisps strike back.
Gotta say, Genesis looking a little bit lazy right there. Not Charlie just comes in and puts does a solo play and is able to get it past essentially two defenders. Zeverns wasn't quite in the position he needed to be to defend, but he was back.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with that. Wisps picking up the speed quite a bit. Mikey looking for the hit off the backboard. Zeverns almost puts that one in, but Rhodey in a good spot to save it. Does well to get the touch. Genesis still in a nice spot though as Magic Pepperoni. Can't quite get the touch, but looks for the pass to Zeverns, who's there. Looks for another pass off the corner wall. Third decides not to commit. Probably a wise decision. As Mikey going up in the air for this one. War just a little bit faster. Zeverns looking for the pass from Pepperoni, it looked like, but now he's going to have to rush back to defense. No boost, and that one's not quite in. War can't get the follow-up, and a close call for Genesis. But a 50 is going to break the ball out of their half, and they escape danger, at least for now, although that was a bit of a tricky play.
Most definitely, and if Genesis isn't careful, Wisps are able to put together plays like that, like what we got going right here. Not Charlie Boy, able to make another goal for his team.
And not Charlie getting almost a symmetrical goal from the other side of his previous one. Just beats out the defender once again. He's just looking a little bit faster than the Genesis defense right now.
And I gotta say that both teams are looking a little bit loose on their defensive rotations. It doesn't seem like anybody is really taking much priority to go far post, so we might see more goals as this game progresses based on that.
It is looking that way. Only half the game left, and already 4 goals. Not an extremely high scoring affair, but definitely more goals than either team hoping for. As a miss from Rhodey comes out, no one from Genesis there to capitalize. Not this time, at least, as Rhodey looking to take to the air once again. Gets a nice touch, but Mikey's going to get this one out. Now a bit of a... Not sure how intentional that defensive pass was, but actually kind of like that idea, as there was no one from the Wisps there. As Rhodey looking for a huge clear. Can't quite get it to his teammate, but he does get a nice clear. No follow-up, though, as Mikey's going to send this one back around. Looking for the pass middle. Magic's there, but can't make the touch. Now Zeverns on defense. Does well to play patiently. Now it looks like things have settled down quite a bit. Both teams kind of finding their groove defensively, it would seem. What exactly do you make of this, Psycho?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that statement. I think both teams are kind of, maybe it was just the jitters that we get, you know, that most of us get from playing on a streamed match. Or sometimes some of us just get it just from playing in the league match, but both teams seem to have tightened up their defensive rotations, and yeah, they're moving forward that way.
Definitely does seem that way, and nerves are always a factor. Even, I mean, some people have different nerves than others, and some people get more nervous. Sometimes I get nervous when playing Rumble matches. Well, okay, that's not entirely true, but every now and then maybe.
When you have that one you really want to win.
Hey, when I was about to get my my almost GC3 promotion to Rumble, you know, maybe I was getting a little nervous.
There you go, sweating hard in that Rumble.
Don't always sweat in Rumble, but when I do, it's a lot of fun. As Mikey gonna barely miss this one out. The defensive pressure, or the offensive pressure, as oh no, War can't get back to it, and I'm not sure if that was savable. I think it was, but instead he's gonna put that one in his own net.
It looked like that was actually off. If he had just let it go, it wasn't going to go in. Unfortunately, sometimes you're in a position where it's really hard to make that call, and you just got to either go for it or let it go. He decided to go for it, and it unfortunately did not work out in his favor.
And disaster is struck here in game 1 for the Wisps. Now only 15 seconds left, and they need a goal immediately. This is a huge chance, though. Luckily for Genesis' sake, they're able to get back in time, but still there's pressure from the Wisps. If War can make up for his previous mistake, can't quite get the touch. Now it's up to Charlie, but that ball's gonna get 50'd off. Now this could be a goal for Genesis, actually. Magic not gonna keep that one up, not gonna take any chances there. And Genesis takes game 1, but that was a lot closer and maybe could have gone either way if it weren't for that unfortunate play.
Right, right. That was really the deciding factor in this game. Both teams played really solid. in the beginning, a little bit loose on defense, as I mentioned, but able to pull that together about halfway through and really get locked into a groove. But, that's what it boils down to sometimes is that one-off mistake that you make. And unfortunately for Wisp, that happened to be in the last 30 seconds of this match.
And sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. You got to deal with it. Just remember that it's in the past and you got to move on. And I do know that War, at least, he should know that he is definitely capable of making these plays. In the past, we've seen him pop off. A couple of mistakes were the downfall of the Wisp there, but they're definitely not out of this series. And we'll continue to see if they can bounce back as they get a nice kickoff win to throw us into game two. Now Genesis answering back. Seaburn's looking to take control, looking for the 50. Gets a pinch, won't quite go middle, but a double commit from Wisps, and now a shot opportunity. Actually, Magic looking for the bump, but didn't quite have the boost. Gets destroyed himself, unfortunately. As another 50 is going to be sent middle. Mikey leaving it for his teammate, but that's going to give Charlie a chance. Can't find the shot. Once again, both teams playing somewhat passively in the first few seconds here. Severin's looking for the hit off the wall. Gets it past Rhodey, but won't go any farther than Charlie Boy. As Magic sends this one back. Right now, it just seems to be a bit of a game of ping pong, both teams. Another double commit coming out from the Wisps, but doesn't look like they'll be punished for it this time. As that ball almost rolls directly into the net. Severins with a nice fake, though, to get it out to the center. And now Wisps with a little bit of pressure, but no extended pressure really for either team here. I mean, so far this just looked like a game of ping pong.
Yeah, I don't think either of these teams are really chomping at the bit to overextend. Both playing really, really passively. Oh my goodness, I cannot pronounce that name, comes in with a score.
And that was very tough to save. Mikey got a lot more power than I think the defender was expecting there. Won't be able to get up to that one. And now Genesis pull ahead once again in the first minute and a half of the game. With the lead once again, they haven't thrown it away yet. They'll have to see if they can hold on to it again. Last game things got a little bit spicy. It's Mikey looking for the touch. The ball keeps getting sent center, but no one from Genesis to follow up on it. Now Charlie looking to try and take control, but misses the touch. Still looming in this corner as the ball is Rhodey. Tries to pre-flip, but can't get a touch. Charlie gets this one clear. Should have at least a second to breathe. But Zeverns is right behind Magic, and a little bit of a double commit actually turns into a decent play for Genesis. Now they're going to be on the back foot for a second, though. A huge demo from the Wisp, but Magic with a nice cut. Now it's Genesis once again. Looking for a play, something to start up here. Can't quite find it. As this ball's going to get centered, but Genesis can't quite, or excuse me, Wisp can't quite capitalize once again. Really, in the last game, it seemed like it was all Charlie kind of creating offensive opportunities. Other than that, Wisps didn't really look like they had much generated. I mean, Charlie really stepped up last game, but who do you think is going to have to step up now if Wisps want to fight their way back into this game?
I really keep expecting to see Rhodey step up and start doing some of the things that I know he's capable of doing. The man's mechanical, and he can really do some stuff, but I think he kind of is down on himself a lot and doesn't quite, isn't quite confident in his own ability. But I know that if he steps up, he can really do some things because he's clipped on me before.
And I know that Rhodey has clipped on quite a few players in Novice before. And that's actually a key point because, you can be the best player in the world, but if you don't have confidence in your own shooting, then you're kind of not going to be playing at your peak, and you're not going to be able to make those plays that you might be able to if you were just feeling a little bit more comfortable and not succumbing to the pressure. But here's another opportunity for Wisps. That's actually just an open net miss. That really should have been a goal for them. But once again, it's just disaster, this time on the offensive front. And time is ticking for them now. They will be able to get another play generated, but Magic quickly shuts this one down, taking control himself. Nice dunk from War, but Severn's sending this one out. Wisps need to maintain this pressure, and that's not going to help as a double commit on defense. Luckily, a touch there will prevent Genesis from immediately scoring, but this could be dangerous. Charlie gets a clear. Now is another opportunity for the Wisps. No one's there, and man, the Wisps, they're getting these shots. They just need to be slightly more accurate. And now with 30 seconds left, they just need to get a little bit more aggressive on the defensive rotations, make sure they are on the offensive rotations, make sure they have someone middle there.
Yeah, they're definitely missing out on some golden opportunities here. Not only are they, their initial shots inaccurate, but their offensive rotations just are really, really sloppy right now. And they've had several, centered balls that they could have had good shots on that they just weren't taking shots on.
And now the Wisps' final opportunity here. Magic Pepperoni gonna hit this one to the corner though, and no touch, gonna send that one back up into the air. Wisps now going down 2-0 in the series, and Genesis looked comfortable for the majority of the game there, I gotta say.
I fully agree with that. I think that they took the lead early, and they knew, well, the Wisps aren't going to be aggressive, so all we have to do is just play a solid defense game, and they're going to lose. When we get the ball, we play with the timer, and then we let it go. But the Wisps aren't going to apply enough pressure, even though the Wisps were, for the most part, applying most of the pressure. They forced Genesis to make 3 saves before they had to even make a single save.
Yeah, if you look at the stats, I mean, they had most of the pressure, but once again, just can't be accurate and can't find the shots. They only had, well, they did have only 2 more shots than Genesis, but they also only had 2 saves to Genesis's 3. They had 1 more save. I mean, this could have been a game. And what do they have to switch up here to try and come back? Now a reverse sweep is in front of them if they want to make this comeback here.
I think that they need to not worry so much about defense. And I know that sounds crazy, but they've got defense. They're stacked on defense. They've got their defensive rotations are tight and they're ready to go. What they need is to have better offensive rotations. They even though they have the pressure, if the first person doesn't make it into the net, they don't have a second man that's there ready to clean it up. And that means that they don't have a third man that's there ready to clean up the second man's miss.
Yeah, I'll definitely inclined to agree. As we saw plenty of times in that second game, especially, there was just no one there for the follow-up. I'll have to see if they can learn from their previous mistakes as they start off in their own half, but now the Wisps looking to break out, looking for a shot there, but Charlie gets blocked this time. As War looking for the pass maybe to his teammate, can't quite connect, but still a very good idea on the pass there. Not a shot that we necessarily expect novices to hit 100% of the time, but a good idea as Magic snipes the ball between 2 defenders on Wisps, and another lead for Genesis early here.
Unfortunate touch from Rody right there. He sends it straight out to Magic Pepperoni, who gets a banger of a shot, 62 miles an hour against 2 defenders who just were not prepared for the ball to be coming at them that fast.
Well, that's a difficult spot to be in as a defender. Have to have a very fast reaction time to even try to save that one. They both weren't even in bad spots necessarily to save it. Just a little bit too good of a shot for them to hope to. So once again, Genesis, a little bit of a double command in the corner now. An opportunity for Rody looking for the air dribble. Can he get past Zeverns? Shuts that one down, and a clutch defensive play from Zeverns actually. It was an awkward spot. There was that Rody clip that we've been talking about. It looked like he had good control. Just couldn't quite get past the third man. Here's another opportunity for Wisp, though. Mikey Ike with a huge save, blocking that one from going in. And Magic with another block. Now Genesis's defense, honestly, is looking more solid than ever. So now we've got Zeverns looking for a hit off the side. Wisps can't find the clear towards the net. Mikey gets this one clear once again. Now it's Charlie in the 1v1. An instant challenge from Magic will be the play that keeps them still on the offensive pressure. And this game definitely has felt like a lot more offensive pressure from Genesis so far. Maybe sick of sitting in their own half in the previous game. As once again, they're still on a huge 50 from Mikey. The ball's awkward in the corner. Too many attackers in the corner for Genesis, though, and they're going to have to give up on this one as a bump play. Pull shot into the clear. Might have an opportunity for Charlie, but he can't connect with this shot. And once again, inaccuracy just continues to be an issue for this Wisps roster. They need to find something quick here now with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Yeah, not Charlie, you know, trying as he might, taking a lot of shots tonight, just not having the accuracy that he needs, you know, and I don't know this individual and I'm not familiar with him, so it's possible. Oh my goodness. Mikey just own goaling for seemingly no reason.
And well, this was you know, Magic just kind of whiffs the first ball. Mikey panics once he realizes that the ball is heading towards his own net and decides to put it in faster so that they have more time in the game to recover, surely. Not a conventional own goal even, a bit of an odd play, but now the game is tied and the Wisps are back in it once again.
And I just want to, if I can, just finish my thought on not Charlie, because I kind of feel like what I said left it out with a negative connotation. But, you know, he might, it's possible that he might just be having a bad night. You know, I think that you know, and I definitely know that sometimes you just have bad nights. Sometimes you're just not hitting the ball in the direction that you intend to hit the ball, knowing that you can.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us. It even happens to the pro players. Not everyone can be in peak form at all the time. And we have even seen the sparks of life from him, especially in game 1, where he popped off and scored 2 goals. Now, if he can refine that spark, then Wisps definitely have a chance here. And more so now that the score is even due to an unstoppable play from the Wisps, we'll say. As now it is actually Genesis who are looking to be put on the back foot, feeling the pressure once again. They'll finally manage to get a little bit of a clear, but Brody's going to try to send this one back in. Only goes so far as the first defender in Magic Pepperoni. The ball gets past him once again. Ball gets past the third defender, actually. Now Zevern's going to have to replace. Can't make the touch. This could be dangerous and a huge block there. I think that would have been a goal, but now the net is open on the Wisps end of the field. This is going to go off the backboard. Brody with a nice touch, but the ball is still dangerous. Mikey going to try to put this one on target. Can't quite get it, but Zeverns is going to be there for the follow-up and panic in the net. Genesis retake the lead.
Really, really close stuff right there from Wisps. Brody making an integral touch that he needed to make, and not Charlie was there for the save that he make, but he was just a little bit off his mark, unfortunately, running into the post and leaving the net open.
Now with less than 30 seconds left, the Wisps going to have to pull from the depths of their stamina and try to make something happen here. It was almost an opportunity, but Zeverns with no boost makes a clutch block. Now Mikey going for the off-the-wall touch, can't quite find it. War flicks it past one. Zeverns on defense, but he's going to do well. Actually gets not the best of touches, and it's going to be passed. Now Wisps tie it out, and this game is not over. The series is not over quite yet.
Really good pressure from Rhodey right there. Even War, got to give him a little bit of pressure as he went up and didn't make anything happen, but he probably made the defenders panic a little bit, which forced them to give possession away, allowing Roddy to come in and make that last second goal, which is going to send us into overtime right now.
Yeah, it did look like Magic Pepperoni hesitated there just because he saw that War was in the corner and was a little bit scared of passing the ball to him. But at the end of the day, a good play, and now almost an open net for the Wisps. Fortunately for Genesis, Magic will be back to save that one. But the pressure is ramping up from the Wisps, and it looks just to be exponentially growing. As War a little awkward here, but manages to get a ball out. Another 50 though, gonna keep it in their half. Magic goes through. That's gonna be off the post. Can't quite find the shot. And a close call for the Wisps, but that one's just gonna roll right in. And now the Wisps finally find a game, and they'll be taking this to a series.
Roddy stepping up, coming in third man back, but just saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pressure this ball. I'm going to go ahead and give it the little push that it needs. And it worked out. Nobody from Genesis back. And that's the first win that they need to mount this reverse sweep.
And it definitely seemed there like Genesis were feeling like they deserved the win, got a little bit over aggressive, overextended into the Wisps half of the field, and immediately get punished by it. If you're a Wisps fan, that's definitely what you want to see out of them. Finally finding the open net. And now Genesis is going to have to try and put that one behind them. But I mean, what can the Wisps do now? They got a little bit fortunate with the own goal from Genesis. I can't lie to even tie that one up initially. What do the Wisps have to do to keep pushing and try to complete the reverse sweep here?
I think that the Wisps need to not only continue doing what they just did, I think that if not, Charlie can find just a little bit more accuracy in his shots. Just take it a little bit slower if that's what you need to make sure that you're touching the ball in the right direction. That Genesis is going to be in some real trouble here.
And they certainly were hoping for a sweep there, but after now losing one game in the series, it's definitely not unattainable for the Wisps to complete a reverse sweep here. So they go for a crazy play off the start here. Mikey misses a touch in the midfield. Can't quite get the shot on net. This one will go middle again. Magic with a big shot. That's awkward, but not Charlie does well to just get a touch. It was certainly going to be a goal if he didn't. There's a double commit in the corner actually from Genesis. Overextending once again, but this time they can get back. Mikey gets a touch, gets the double. Oh my goodness, that was almost on target. That would have certainly been plays of the week material if he had managed to score it somehow. Now Genesis back in their half, but maybe not for long as Zeverns. Looks like he might not have any boost actually. War going up for this one. Can't quite find the touch, but Rhodey's there. Only gets it so far as the post, and that pinch actually will keep a little bit of pressure on. Genesis running out of boost. Now it's Magic getting the clear. But Wisps finally finding some consistent pressure here. War getting a touch middle. The 50 doesn't go in his favor though, and Charlie has to get a touch, does well to do so. The ball is back in Genesis half once again. A huge demo from Rhodey. This could be dangerous. Ball is looming over the midfield. No one there from Wisps, though. That might have been a ball that you need to go for. Going back to what you were talking about earlier, you might need to be a little bit more aggressive with their offensive rotations, putting people where they need to be.
Just a little bit. We see Not Charlie go up there, and unfortunately, we saw the same thing that we've been seeing from him tonight. Just a little bit off in his accuracy, not able to get the touch that he needed right there. But I definitely agree with you that he should have had a second man right behind him as soon as they saw that he didn't have the touch that was going to go ahead and try and make a cleanup for him.
And as we said that, there was a follow-up there just a little bit inaccurate from the Wisps. And that would have... Oh my goodness! And a series of own goals, as that one was slightly more forced than the previous ones we've seen, but still Genesis taking another early lead.
Rhodey, unfortunately, touching the ball to the corner just a little bit too hard, and so he wasn't able to get back up to it to make the clear before I didn't see who it was, but one of the Genesis members comes in and just absolutely puts one on the net.
And there's that speed from Genesis. Not necessarily always known as the fastest team, but they'll beat you to some balls if they have the opportunity to.
Oh.
As not sure exactly what we saw there. Magic Pepperoni gonna get this one to the midfield. Don't expect anyone to go up for that one. That one was a little bit difficult. And a little bit of awkwardness now. Actually, as the ball bounces off the sidewall, Rhodey's gonna put one in.
Oh my, what a read coming out from Rhodey right there as the ball gets pushed to the corner, and he just comes in and slams that home as he takes it away from Magic Pepperoni.
And that's a touch that one of the defenders on Genesis just has to make there. Even if you can't get the best touch, it's better than no touch at all, as Rhodey will be putting those in most of the time. We were talking about earlier, and now he's really stepping up. This time, going for another goal, gets the fake, and that one's gonna 50 in off Zevers.
With the big fake right there. Rhodey finally coming through. Game 4. We've been waiting this whole time for you to wake up, Rhodey.
And this might get a little bit dangerous if now Rhodey might have turned on his monitor now. Looking to pop off a little bit. Still not over yet, though, is, ooh, a snipe from Magic Pepperoni. A kickoff goal, but nevertheless, very good placement on the shot.
And very good answer from Genesis right there. Magic Pepperoni catching the ball perfectly. 68 miles an hour. It's almost impossible to consistently get a ball to move that fast. And to put it in the lower right-hand corner like that, oh, that was beautiful from a novice.
Especially with no boost there. Very difficult to generate that much power. Now Genesis tying it up immediately. Zevern's on the dribble. Tries to get under. I've been a little bit of a team bump there, actually. But still, almost more danger for the Wisps. As both teams looking more and more deadly as the series progresses. We'll have to see if Genesis can close this one out. It's Magic Pepperoni looking for a big hit. Charlie gets one off the backboard, but Zevern's up for this one. Gets a touch middle. Trying to get the pass off, but no one's quite ready for that one. As Charlie looking for the dribble. Looking for the pass, actually. War just a little bit off, but once again, dangerous opportunity for the Wisps. That was almost a play that could have led to a goal. As this one's going to go off the backboard. Charlie looking for the read. Can't quite find it this time. And man, he's been going for these backboard reads all game now, it seems. I really want him to hit one of them, actually, because they would be pretty cool. He almost hit a double tap earlier. Looks like he's feeling himself quite a bit more as the series moves on.
I'm telling you, I know that this guy is insane, even though I haven't seen him play. Rhodey!
Oh my!
Able to find one in the mid. Nobody back from Genesis.
And Rhodey just absolutely beats out the last defender and puts a banger of a shot on target while he does it with style. Now Wisps, the ones with a lead. One of their first leads in regulation, I believe, in this entire series. We'll still have to hold on for just under 30 seconds, though. It's Magic looking to control this one. Rhodey shuts it down. If the Wisps can keep Genesis in their half, they might just be able to take this to a game 5. That's not going to do it, though, as Zeverns gets it off the backboard. War looking awkward here. Mikey gets it off the backboard. Rhodey had to make that touch and does well to get the 50. But now Charlie can't get a touch. Zeverns tries to get it middle, but this one's going to touch the ground surely. And the Wisps bringing this one to a game 5 and the best performance that we've seen from them all series.
I definitely don't disagree with that. These guys have been gearing up since game 1. They did not come in guns a-blazing, but their guns are on fire right now. Rhodey pulling down the hat trick right there. 75% shot accuracy in that match. Definitely got to give it to him. Genesis, not to take away from them, they played a solid defense that entire game. And, you know, merely, I got to say that game was very reminiscent of game 1.
It was. This definitely looked like a fair fight from the beginning. Both teams putting in a lot of shots, and the Wisps finding definitely the best offensive performance they've had since game 1, where Charlie managed to score a couple goals as well. This time it's going to be Rhodey who pops off, and as predicted, if this man only gets better, then it might be a little bit scary for Genesis. Now it looks like, since we have entered game 5, one of our predictions will be correct. I guess it's just left to see who will be correct. I'm guessing you're sticking to your guns.
Oh, I'm going to stick to my guns. I think it's a little bit more than cheesy for somebody to change their prediction once the game has started. You know, like, oh, I'm just going to jump ship because somebody else is winning.
And I can't say that I would disagree with your prediction, even, as Wisps definitely feeling the momentum. But Genesis not out of this one in any sense of the word. Still 5 minutes to fight. And this could be an early goal for the Wisps. Charlie almost putting that one on target. Couldn't quite find it in the end, but still dangerous for Genesis. It's a huge clear comes out. A team bump from Genesis. Can Charlie capitalize immediately? Can't quite find the touch middle. This one's going to stay in Genesis' half. staying overnight. Rented a room for a few weeks, I guess. As Genesis finally gets this one clear. Magic sending that one center, but this time it's Genesis with no one middle to capitalize on that. Another touch, though, and another opportunity for Genesis here, except Rhodey's going to shut that one down with a huge dunk. Mikey gets a touch. It won't go all that far, and now he's running low on boost. War tries to make an ambitious read, but can't quite find it. Now, Rhodey's third man, but he does well to take control by a little bit of time for his team. And this is looking like the most fast-paced out of all 5 games so far. Both teams finally finding their stride, and now this is turning into a bit of a slugfest with both teams taking shots.
Yeah, you can tell both of these teams have sort of got a taste of blood now, and they want more. So we're going to see, I think, a lot faster pace, but still sticking solid to their defensive rotations and their defensive abilities. So pretty impressed.
I'm impressed as well. These rotations are very good, especially for novice level play. Not looking nervous at all. No, it is game 5. A lot on the line, maybe even a playoff life on the line. And Rhodey, the man himself, is going to come in and score the first goal.
A good pressure from Not Charlie right there. Not quite a pass from him necessarily, but Rhodey able to read the ball off of the ceiling. Little bit of style points there, though. It might have just been correction.
Yeah, well, you know, correction, whether warranted or not, if it involves a spin, then we call it style all the time.
Then style away, my guy.
And Rhodey is not one who is shy to style. Especially in a game 5, as now Genesis are going to have to be the ones to fight back. Once again, Wisps with another opportunity, though. A fake almost again coming out from Charlie. Luckily for Genesis, this time they'll be able to find it. Now the ball's looming over here. Mikey gets a touch off the backboard. This one almost goes in. Can't quite find the read, though. Ball's still dangerous. But Mikey chooses to go back. Maybe the wrong decision, as he almost gets scored on there. Don't want to let Wisps have these offensive opportunities when they've been looking as good as they have in the last 2 games. Only 2 minutes left. Genesis has to find something quick. Rhodey in net. Gonna parry that one away with ease. And just like that, he's back on the counterattack. Man's all over the field. Mikey gets it. Not quite past one. War is actually going to shut him down. Looking for the touch. An insane pass middle. But once again, no one there for the Wisps. They're playing it a little bit safe as they're only 1 goal ahead. Want to maintain this lead, as that's almost a shot for Genesis. Mikey just barely off target. Zevern's trying to make a dunk here, but War goes low. Good decision, whether intentional or not, as he gets a flick past one. Magic gets the ball up to the side. Mikey actually getting bumped by Magic, and all of a sudden Genesis are the ones who are looking uncoordinated. They're going to have to try gather themselves quick here if they want any chance to come back in the game, though.
Yeah, it's looking like Genesis is starting to sweat a little bit. The team bump coming out from Magic Pepperoni right there. And that's not something, like you said, that we've seen from them. They've been very cool, calm, collected. But you can definitely tell that they're starting to worry a little bit. Less than a minute left. They got to make something happen.
They're going to have to make it happen quick, as a miss from Zeverns. Rhodey getting this one still in Genesis half. Another miss from Genesis. A 50 middle. A double 50. Oh my goodness. Rhodey is just a brick wall right now.
Wow.
What in the world is happening?
That man is on point right this minute.
And maybe a little bit of an overextension, but Wisp can kind of afford it right now. As Mikey gets this one center. Magic just looking for demos, trying to make anything happen. Zevern's going to miss this one. This could be it. This could be it for Genesis. Not going to get scored on this time, but now only 11 seconds left. Magic taking this one down the field. Can't find his way past. Now a miss from Rhodey might be an opportunity for Genesis, but they can't find anything. Magic going to have to keep this one up, and Rhodey's going to kill that one. Not quite. The ball is still up. Mikey, the team play. Oh my goodness, it's still going. The ball's off the backboard. Magic can't keep it up. And the Wisps going to complete the reverse sweep in outstanding fashion.
Congratulations to the Wisps. What a feat to complete a reverse sweep. Genesis coming out of the gate,
Oh,
firing on all cylinders, but Wisp able to pull it back in the second half of the series.
what a feat to complete the reverse sweep indeed. And I just gotta say, bars, that was hard. Wisps, oh my goodness, what a performance from the Wisps. Bouncing back, I believe they've had actually 4 or 5 losses, perhaps in a row before this. But definitely a very good performance from them to come back against all odds. Honestly, in the reverse sweep, they looked kind of shaky at the start, but by the end of the day, Rhodey and his team, I will say it, Rhodey definitely the main reason that the Wisps were able to pull off this reverse sweep, and they looked dominant towards the end of that series.
Yeah, I hate to say I called it, but like I said during the match, I've been clipped on by Rhodey. So, like, to me, it's not a big deal. Like, that's what he's supposed to be doing. The first two matches, I was like, what is this guy doing? He's not playing the way he needs to be playing, but he stepped up to the plate. And, I think that if not Charlie had been just a little bit more accurate during this match, we might have seen a sweep in favor of the Wisps.
It definitely looked like it could have gone that way after watching the final couple of games, but Genesis, it's always tough when you lose 2 games in a row. They were in game 5 for a while, but after that first goal went in, they just didn't look like the same team that we saw previously. And not to say that they didn't play well, because they played fantastic for the majority of the series. Just a couple of small mistakes gonna be the death of them in this one. And what a way to start off the stream, honestly. A Monday, but it feels like a Friday because of the excitement. And we've only got more coming up. I believe right after this, we've got Bishops versus Dissolved. And then at 9:30 EST, you can catch me and my team in Arrival taking on the Grave Lords and a little bit of a rematch from a previous stream game. Hoping that one goes better than the first stream game against them went. Um, but thanks for watching, everyone. We'll catch you right after this short break. It was a pleasure casting with you, Psycho, as always, and we'll catch
Always.
you guys soon.